What is up? In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to build a Consular class cruiser from Star Wars. This build can almost be entirely built at your settlement landing pad. However, you'll need a few pieces from the new Homestead and Hopetown ship technicians. To do this, you'll have to slap some random parts on your ship to make it flyable, and then swap out the parts you need when you get to the appropriate technicians. If you're new to the channel, be sure to stick around to the end where I'll be showcasing the final version of the build. If you want to see more themed spaceship designs, consider subscribing to the channel because I got more on the way. So with that said, let's get to it. Alright, so first off, we're going to place our landing bay. This is going to be a 120 LD, it's going to be a Deimos landing bay. So once we get that placed, we're then going to do an Lander 11 landing gear. This is by Stroud Eklund. We're just going to place that right behind that, and you can actually cycle through these. We're going to get the one where it's like the mid one, so it's going to match on both sides. So once that's placed, we're going to then take a Deimos 2x1. We're just going to connect it to the back of that. Then going to follow it up by another landing gear. And then right behind that, we're going to go the Aurora 13G grav drive. This is going to be a Class B grav drive, by the way. And then once that's placed, a Deimos belly piece. We're just going to place that, snap that to the grav drive. So now from here, we're going to connect some cargo holds to the side of our first landing gear. And I'm using the Caravel V102 cargo hold for that. And then at this point, place a couple of portholes on the side. And we're going to be placing them on the right-hand side of this Deimos 2x1. Then going to take the slim docker. It's going to be a 100 DP slim docker by Deimos. We're going to connect that right under this portion of the 2x1, right where our portholes were placed. From here, we're going to take Caravel V101 cargo holds, and we're just going to connect them to the next landing gear. Once those are connected, I got the Dagama 1010 shielded cargo holds, and I'm just going to place them on both sides of this grav drive. So once all those are placed, we're ready to move on to our next level. Alright, so for the next layer, we're going to start off by placing this Deimos 2x1 piece. It's going to be right above our landing bay. Once that's placed, we're going to take a Stroud 2x1. We're going to connect that to the 2x1 Deimos piece. And take another 2x1 Stroud piece. We're going to put it right next to the other Stroud piece we just placed. Then going to take a Stroud 1x1. And then from here, we're going to place our reactor. The reactor that I picked was a Fusion DC 403 reactor. We're just going to place that right above this Deimos belly piece. From here, we're going to take our engine. This engine is going to be a Supernova 2200 engine. I'm just going to connect that right to the reactor. Once all that's placed, we're going to jump right back to the front of the build. I'm going to take a M50 Ulysses HE3 tank, and I'm going to connect it to the right-hand side of this Deimos 2x1. So it should connect right next to this Caravel cargo hold. Then going to take a Deimos bumper, and these you can actually cycle through, but you want this piece, and we're just going to snap it right here. From here, we're going to take a Deimos wing B piece, and we're just going to connect it here. And I actually have some guns mounted on it, and you can put whatever guns you want. But you know, for this build, I end up going with the Scorch S80MW pulse laser, and then the Scorch P60MW pulse laser. I just place those on that. From here, go another Deimos bumper, but we're going to flip it around so the angle is the opposite of this one. I'm going to take a Deimos wing A piece. I'm going to place that here. Then going to take a Deimos wing B piece, and we're going to snap it to the bottom connector of our fusion reactor. From here, we're going to take a Nova thruster array, and we're going to connect it to the top connector port of this reactor. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to quickly throw this other side together real fast. But just something to keep in mind. I know I covered it at the beginning of the video. There is going to be some pieces that you're going to have to fly to a different spaceport for to get the exact look that you want with this build. So what you'll probably have to do is just throw some pieces on just to get the ship functional, so you can fly it to the other spaceport, and then you can just swap out the parts that you need. But with that said, we're going to be moving on to the next layer. Alright, so next up, we're going to place our bridge. And this is going to be an Overseer 300 bridge by Hope Tech. And this is one of those special bridges to where you're not going to have access to it at your settlement landing port, or whatever you want to call it. So you're actually going to have to go to Hope Town in order to get access to this bridge. So like I said just earlier, just plug in just a random cockpit or bridge just to get your ship functional. And then you fly over to Hope Town and actually swap it out for this one. But once that's placed, we're then going to connect a Stroud 1x1 room right behind it. And these pieces are going to be connected to this Deimos 2x1. From here, I'm going to take a Deimos cowling piece. We're going to connect it on top of this Stroud 2x1. And then we're just going to go just right on back down the ship. First off with the Deimos Spine B piece, then a Deimos Spine C piece, a Deimos cowling piece, a Stroud 1x1 piece, and then, let's see, and then from here, we're going to go a Deimos Spine A piece, then I have another gun connected to it. So the gun that I have on this one's going to be a Scorch P60 MW pulse laser. And then I think, let's see, here we go. We're gonna place this equipment plate. We're gonna snap it to the top of this Stroud 1x1, and I got another turret. This is the Scorch S80 MW pulse laser that I just connected to this equipment plate. So from here, I'm gonna take this 200 cm ballast shielded cargo hold. And I'm gonna connect it to this Stroud storeroom. And if you're looking at the ship, like from the front of it, I connect to the right-hand side, and then on the other side, I'm going to connect this shielded SG-30 shield generator, just like that. And then last part for this main portion, I'm going to take this Deimos Spine E piece, and I'm going to connect it to the top of the Stroud 1x1. And then I'm going to take this Hope Tech Marker A, and I'm going to connect it to the top of the Deimos Spine E piece. So once all those are placed, we are ready to move on to the final engines. Alright, for the engine, we're going to start off by placing a Deimos hull piece. From here, going to take a Hope Tech nose, the nose cap. We're going to place it right in the front of this hull piece. From here, we're going to take a NG-20 landing gear. This is going to be a Nova Galactic landing gear, so you'll probably have to get this landing gear from New Homestead. From here, going to take the Supernova 2200 engine. Just going to connect it to this hull piece, and the bottom snapping point is going to be the one that's going to snap to this piece. Then going to take the Deimos Wing E piece, and we're going to place two of them on the side. And I end up rotating them so they kind of form a curve right here in the middle. From here, I'm going to take a Deimos Wing B piece, and we're just going to connect it to the other side of the Deimos hull. Then going to take a Deimos Spine D piece, and we're going to connect to the top of the hull piece. And then last but not least, we're going to take this Hope Tech cross brace, and we're just going to connect it to this Supernova engine. Once you snap that here, that'll complete one of the engines, and you just have to do just one more, but just mirror everything, just flip everything, to the opposite sides. So once you got both of your engines, you can just take them, and they're just going to snap right here. So the snap piece is actually going to be from the Hope Tech brace. So it'll just snap to the side of this central engine. So that one will snap. We'll snap the other one here. And then just for the build, I ended up snapping some missile launchers to this Deimos wing piece, the one that's connected to the hull piece. I ended up going one above and one below, and that's for both sides. So the ones that I chose are the CE-59 missile launchers from Ballistic Solutions. So yeah, once all those are snapped, that's gonna do it for the build.